Today, we're going to discuss thyroid health. Um, Overall, we'll touch autoimmune diseases, but in general, and really their connection to the throat chakra. So, and then we will do, I'll just give about 20 minutes information now. Before that, we will kind of sharing, and every person kind of shares where they are with it, autoimmune conditions. Um, and I kind of suggested different things. So I will just kind of pack it now, and hopefully it will be very useful for you. We start with the throat chakra. Okay, so this is chakras are basically centers in the body's energetic centers. They're usually connected to glands because it's kind of like almost like a junction of meridians, or in the yogic Ayurvedic tradition, it's called nadis. So um, when there is a blockage, then there's no flow of energy, if you want, and then we experiencing different things depends where it's stuck. Okay, so with the thyroid, the throat chakra, Vishuddhi chakra, which literally means to purify. Um, and obviously, like everything in Ayurveda, the way they look at things, like what you do in childhood with the, when your parent conceive you, is how your biology will be affected, your personality, maybe even your karma, your genetics, will affect the next stage. And this is why I say to people, when you find some sort of changes in your body, already make different changes in your lifestyle, in your food, in your mindset, to prepare yourself for the next stage, and then we kind of going through life gracefully. The throat chakra is associated with truth, with expressing our truth, but it's not only expressing our own needs, it's also expressing kind of divine needs. So we all here for purpose, which is what we call dharma. We all come here with a gift to share with the world, and that gift is what gives us an experience of satisfaction and fulfillment. Um, so um, Usually, if we wake up in the morning with no kind of urge to serve and do something in the world that we will feel that is meaningful, kind of walking through life with a bit of dullness in a way. And this is why they say that when those centers of energies, which is what we call chakras, is activated and healthy and flowing comfortably, then we have that inspiration. And inspiration comes from the word in the spirit. So we are fulfilling and collaborating with the great mystery. So we kind of a vehicle of that in the world. So we kind of and usually would see people that are inspired, and it's kind of contagious. It's like and there is also with this center, when it's open, you usually will feel that need to create. Okay, so the throat chakra is connected to the second chakra, which is creation, which is like the sex organ where we create life, but it's also where we create art and beautiful realities for ourselves and others. And it starts there, but it's being expressed here. Okay, so it's almost like it goes through there into the center of the third chakra, which is like our commitment, the way we move forward with life, like fire energy. And then it goes into the heart and then into the throat chakra. So there's also, I read a few years back, a correlation that they're talking in biological connection between the throat and the heart. So those feelings sometimes that you want to say something and you feel like something is blocked in your throat. There's actually a term to that in Chinese medicine, which I could remember what it was, but I think it's called plum um, plum seed or something like that, chi, which is kind of like a blocked energy. But now actually they've found that the coating around the heart is directly connected to the throat. um, and then so this is our expression in the world. This is like, and especially we want to express it from the heart. We want to bring that kind of creativity into our commitment in the world, and then through the heart, through doing things that are in accordance with what we value and love, into expression. When this center is blocked, we have some different issues physically. Thyroid very much connected, um, and all sorts of like vocal problems and things that even around the teeth and the ears and all of that area. um, I want to say something that is really important for me to mention, which I hear a lot in the new age scene, which I really don't like. There is this idea that you've done it to yourself. If you would have expressed your needs, if you would have lived your truth, if you would have, done it differently, you wouldn't develop this particular condition. And I think it's really quite um, almost abusive because it's, it's hard enough to deal with a condition, um, and to feel guilty for it, it's really quite intense. Now, I had Hashimoto. Well, in the test, I still have Hashimoto, but I don't live with the symptoms anymore. So when I after car accident, so I had a whiplash, and the whiplash sent my whole endocrine system out of balance. Um, so I took the medication. That was 20 something years ago. So took the medications just for like a few months. I didn't feel right on them, and then I tried different things. So for the last 12 years, the test been fine. Um, so yeah, so I will kind of, first of all, to say it's not your fault. Things just happen to us. You know, this is why a lot of the time in Ayurveda, the Vaidya, the doctor, would have also be astrologer, because in your chart they can see karma, they can see what you came to learn, which is what we call genetics. So it's something that's been passed on in our ancestral line. But it's also be, of course, we can learn. So now there is studies that show that, well, every five women in the West have some sort of thyroid issues. So, and there is that women have more difficulty to express their needs. Well, we've been trained for thousands of years to shut up and carry on, and that, a good lady woman doesn't complain. She keeps everybody's happy. She does not angry. She's not uh, what do you call it, high maintenance. So all these things is kind of still affecting the way we behave in the world, I believe. Um, Even if it's what we saw at home, and then even though we're living in a society, we think we have a career and we're free, but there's still that kind of conditioning deep inside, ingrained in us. Um, so yes, so there is studies in the last 10 years that really show the correlation between thyroid issues or autoimmune diseases overall that connected to our inability to say no, our inability to put boundaries, and basically voice what we're comfortable with and what we don't. So, where to start? We will start with the physical, and then we move to the more astral. So, yeah. Um, from what I see, so I'm going to talk about, first of all, what can affect our thyroid. So pollution, 100%. I mean, Chernobyl, after Chernobyl, they showed, there were many women with goiter, and it's really swollen thyroid. So that was obviously very extreme radiation, but we have the mobile phone, we have pollutions. So we have to take care of ourselves and lower this, and then that creates inflammation. And so, really, my theme is anti-inflammatory food lifestyle as much as you can. Gluten is very creating a lot of inflammation in the body. So we're hardly eating ancient wheats. We move into different kind of wheats, and this wheat is not since the 50s, and this wheat is a bit more difficult for the body to read. And from working with menopause in the last few years, there is a course, the Forest Well course, which you can purchase, and it comes with mentoring. It will also give you a lot more information about how at the age of 40 we really really struggle with carbs overall because we more insulin resistance, but also with gluten specifically. So there is, there is that. So obviously there's nothing wrong with wheat, but it's just the way it's produced now, the chemicals that's being put on it. And 50 years ago, they kind of hibernated, and it's slightly different than what our body can read. But I always say, just try it yourself. Like, leave all the big words and the big things and just listen to yourself. Try something for 3 weeks. See if there's any shifts. See how you move. See how you sleep. See if you're less bloated. See if after eating you're feeling more vibrant. If you're more tired, it's probably not really your food. So, yeah. So, this is something I would recommend you to do. Um, and so, there is this thing of iodine that you need to kind of go in if you're specifically suffering from thyroid, and look at iodine, not from a different perspective. um, there is a whole theory that when iodine was taken away from our salt and food and bread, and everything had iodine in it because we kind of needed it, because it's a mineral we need, and we most of us are deficient in, and that has to be taken with selenium, by the way. So then we started to develop all sorts of imbalances. Yeah, so this is something to look at. It's not, I can't recommend you anything like that, but definitely explore. I just like kind of to stimulate your curiosity and send you on a bit of a research, or you could work with me one on one, and then it's more the appropriate way of working with it. And I always work body, mind, spirit. So we look at all the aspects. Um, so they say the people that they see that don't need iodine is people that swim a lot in the sea, because the sea have iodine. So seaweed is the safest way of doing it, but you need quite a lot of it. Um, and it's kind of controversial. Some people say that hypothyroidism, which is too slow, which is the majority, um, need iodine, and the hyper, working too fast, don't need iodine. But I had different opinions about it. So again, consult a professional. Um, Let me just look my note. Okay, so the in Ayurveda, the hyper, too fast, is vata, so it's air, it moves fast. The symptoms is like bulgy eyes, and anxieties, difficulty to sleep, all of that kind of a bit more. Hyper, very skinny. So it's connected to vata energy and pitta. So there's a lot of heat. Those people suffer from, um, so everything is moving fast and it's hot, but they actually also they can feel very cold, but they could also have that symptom in hyper, too slow. So yeah, losing hair, brittle nails, both hypo and hyper, things like that. So it's kind of like associated with beauty, because it's kind of essential for our metabolism. And when our metabolism working fine, then things, nourishment can come to the skin, to the hair, to the nails, and we can feel more vibrant. So hypo is gaining weight and really struggling to lose it. There is depression more, feeling kind of you lose interest in life, you lose the kind of inspiration and enthusiasm, and yeah, losing hair, in, also in the eyebrows, and things like that. So this is more kapha, so it's more kind of slow digestion. In Ayurveda, it's the earth water element, and it's kind of more lethargic. So both condition, but this is overall all condition in Ayurveda is really recommending us acharas, routines. Get into good routines. Really, it's not sexy. We want life to be exciting and everything. Do all the excitement in between, but have something to ground you, especially like for me, that I'm a very uh, free spirited person and I work with women like that sometimes. And we want to be free, we don't want that. But actually, I can tell you that when you creating those really good routines, and but allowing yourself to change a little bit, like the seasons, like the sun is rising in different times in the year, so then according to that we make a little shift, of course, but overall having something that give you that stability, and nature gives that stability because nature is stable, and life is not stable, but nature is quite stable. Even the moon have this kind of a lot of changes in it, but those changes repeating themselves. um, Sun is quite regular, quite masculine. Um, so working with nature is kind of always my message. It brings a lot of stability. It brings a lot of security. It brings belonging. It brings us so many things. We start to feel safe in the world. So um, yeah, this is something to kind of contemplate. Um, what else I wanted to say? Let me see about food. So, um, no raw food. No raw food. I've done my raw food period for 3 years. Years ago, when I was after my endocrine um, imbalance after the accident, I also had thyroid, then pancreas, then ovaries. It was like the whole endocrine system, and yeah, I could just say that I tried this years of raw food, and eventually my belly was like a 7 month pregnant woman, um, and it really destroyed my gut at some point. So at the beginning it was great for rejuvenation, but then it started to go wrong, and because there is a tendency, because the digestive system is not strong enough, then actually what you need is fire of digestion. You need to ignite it and not to put raw food that really slow it down. So slow cooked food, seasonal, root vegetables, um, a lot of vegetables in all colors. If you meat eater, that's if you, I mean, animal based, animal protein eater, then in lunch, evening, our digestive system is quite slow. So make soup, um, soak your legumes, and have ginger a lot in your meals. That's for both. Actually, both for both kind of thing. Um, using ghee and moringa and triphala are great stuff. Now let's talk on the aspect of um, stress. So stress just kills us, and I say to people, it's like if you look, most of our diseases is lifestyle diseases. So um, we need lifestyle medicine. So regular good food, seasonal food, having a good lifestyle, waking up in the morning, doing your meditation, doing a little bit of exercise. Also so important for the cortisol, especially after 40 again, and for as well, of course, you can hear that. I talk about that, routines and, really, making sure that you using the cortisol in the first 2 hours of your day for exercise. So it makes you powerful, it makes you strong rather than pull you right down, give you anxieties. I think for everyone, we're all deficient in magnesium. I mean, everybody's talking about it. We all need magnesium. So if you do Epsom salt bath, but before you go to bed, have magnesium on a regular basis. There's 3 types of magnesium, and you can try different ones and see what works for you best and go with that. Um, there is a mix on my website that's called adaptogens, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I live on it. I actually drink it right now. Um, it's got ashwagandha, tulsi, and ginger to also to help with the absorption, but also ginger is just a great thing for your digestive system, and it's always good to support the digestive system and the metabolism connected to your thyroid. So, yeah, I highly recommend that. And you have this offer of buying 3, and then you have a look on the shop page. And if you need any help with anything at the end, please don't hesitate to give me a call. I'm here. I'm happy to help. Um, okay, and then so lifestyle, going to bed early. This is the magic. I was just talking to someone that is kind of in the whole biohacking. Don't like the name, but in Ayurveda, it's called Rasayana, the science of rejuvenation. And obviously, in the Rasayana, in this tradition, it's not so much that you will look amazing at the age of 80, and but it's a good side effect. But it's more that you have enough years on Earth to express this dharma, to express this gift you came to express. So that's what it's about. And remind me to go back to that because the rejuvenation part. I don't remember the rest again. So the 3 things that are the most rejuvenating is sleeping, especially being at complete darkness between 10 to 2 o'clock in the morning. Essential. This is when you rejuvenate the most. And so going to bed early, waking up with the sunrise. In the sunrise and sunset, there is red lights. It's really good. So there's this whole red light therapy. There's a lot of interesting research around that. So that also another thing to look at. And doing your exercises in the morning, drinking ginger tea, apple cider vinegar. You need to alternate those. Coffee is not great, especially if you have hypothyroidism. If you have hypo, it might give you some boost, but long term, it's not going to help because it could be hard on the metabolism. So, it can stimulate, but then it can go wrong at some point. So, again, it's something to look at. It's just, with everything, it's just like there's no one way all the time. We have season in our bodies. We have, sometimes we go through difficult times, sometimes we have easy times. So sometimes we, age, obviously, weather, so many things affecting us. So, just stay flexible with everything. And then, and then having your main meal at lunch, and then having no dinner or no breakfast is ideal. So I know that everybody's talking about 3 meals, but I don't believe in it. Um, I mean, actually, what they now call intermediate fasting. I was talking about again in the first Wella course because it's really essential for women after 40. Um, there is really, really, you need to give your body a break of 12 to 16 hours every day, and you will see magic. You will wake up really alert, also intellectually, also like focus. Your belly will feel good. is a bit of hunger. There's nothing wrong with that. That hunger is just mean that your body is getting rid of everything you need to create more space for something new. But also, like if you think about metaphysically, you let go of what needed completely, so you can really open yourself to new ideas, to new inspiration, to go into the world and into your day. So some people are really hungry in the morning. Me. Some people really hungry in the evening. I don't have dinners. I have a lot of protein breakfast. Some people do it the other way around, but give yourself 12. I mean, if you think about if you have very early dinner around 6, which after that your digestive system is quite weak. So if you're having then dinner, then um, 6 o'clock, it's already 12 hours. You probably start to eat around 9. So you already done your 15 hours, which is great. So if you could try to do that, try like in the Ayurvedic tradition, they say that the person that eats one meal is a yogi because he's using all his energy for higher way of being in the world, and spiritual um, pursuit, I guess. And then there is the boogie, the person that like to eat a lot, and then there is the person. I forgot the Sanskrit word, but the diseased, basically 3 meals creating diseases because the body does. It's just kind of you put food on undigested food, and that starts to ferment, and it's just not giving the body enough time. So your body really, really needs, and now science show it. The best way to rejuvenate is to take those longer windows of fasting, and or shorter windows of eating, and sleeping well, go to early nights, and avoid complicated, like seed oils. But good oils is actually good for the thyroid. So ghee, um, coconut, olive oil, you know. Okay, let me see if how long I've got left. So great. So I'm gonna do another bit on the thyroid, on the throat chakra. So in order to activate the throat chakra, first of all, you need to speak your truth, but do it gently because you probably didn't feel safe to speak the truth because maybe as a child, when you said what you need, there was some experiences that didn't make you feel safe. So you learn that to adapt to the situation, the adaptive child. So you are not expressing the truth because it's unsafe to speak your truth. So maybe first start with writing it, maybe voice it to friends that are safe. Do it first in a safe environment so you can kind of stretch that muscles and feel more comfortable to do it even in challenging situations. But start safely and gently and slowly. And also first understand that so journaling is fantastic. Like write down what do you need, what is your truth, and then exercise that. Then there is like the next level, which is giving your desires and your needs to a higher power. We call it Great Spirit, God, whatever we want to call it. So we're giving our will to a greater will. So this is actually when we start to express our dharma. So it's not, we don't do it only for the money or the reputation or the acceptance of society, which is important maybe at the beginning, and then there is the next level. And this is something I'm going to talk about in the Purushartha course, which is voicing our needs, which usually it's sex, money, God, meaningful connections. Maslow hierarchy of needs is very much um, similar to the Purushartha teachings, Vedic teachings for householders to find satisfaction in their daily life. So we need to feel satisfied. We need our need to be met. You need to feel safe to ask for it. That will free the thyroid. But then there's the next level of starting to express a greater role we came to play. very exciting. Um, there is the opposite. Some people, they too much demanding and they're loud about what they need. This is also imbalance in the thyroid. So it's not always the shy, they don't speak out. It sometimes can go the other extreme. Um, the way you starting to release the and unblock the thyroid, the throat chakra, the Vishuddhi, you first of all it's blue color. So I have that blue next to me, but you could Google it, the blue, and it's singing, laughing out loud. Be with someone that makes you laugh. That's really good to vibrate and heal the throat chakra. Um, Voicing your truth. Um, and then moving to the next level, expressing your dharma. Your purpose here on life, and can be very humble, but it's there for you. It came with something that only you came with, and it's you're here to express it. So another thing you can do, which I would love us to do now, just for a moment, with a bit of meditation. So what we're going to do is we're going to hum. So if you around people, you could visualize that you were doing it, but you're basically imagining like a bee. Mm. Let's do three more. Mm. 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 And just let's close the eyes now to close this lovely session together. And we're going to visualize blue light in the throat. And I want you to visualize yourself in a situation where you're really speaking your truth and the experience in the body and how you walk when you speak your truth, how you breathe. How does it feel in the body to speak your truth? So open your eyes. I hope this session was beneficial. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch. DM me, email me. Um, See, we can work privately. You could just ask for a short advice, and if I can help, I will. And start with journaling, take adaptogens, eat well. Um, Intermediate fasting is a really good idea. Um, And remember that your voice is important in the world, especially if it's something that you value and you care about. If you feel like you want to say something, I mean, I know that we're living in a very polarized reality at the moment politically, and everybody have very strong opinion, and if somebody's not sharing their opinion, they're their enemy. So we have to be careful about that, but because that's actually not truth. Um, but if you care and you can help um, others, or you can, by voicing, you can help everybody that involved to benefit from that. That is truth. Um, so I hope it was helpful and clear. You could do many meditation for the throat chakra. So if you need any help with that, but you could literally just feel it opening up. And as I said, one of the most powerful way of doing it is having a really good laugh. So lots of love and stay in touch and see you soon.